Welcome back, Gamesir family, to another F1 Clash video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about setup, how to find your optimal setup, what's the best setup you could use in the game, and these setups should be able to help you guys who are having bad matches as well to get some better matchmaking. All right, so before we jump into it, remember to support a content creator in game by going into settings, going into community, support a creator, and type in Gaming with King to support this channel. Really appreciate you guys for all your support. Remember to also smash the like button, and let's jump on into the video. All right, so a lot of you players have been complaining about matchmaking, that you've been getting outpowered, outmatched in the game, and I know the reason why, and I'm going to be sharing with you today what you can do to get better matches from your setup. So the team score is a major player in your matchmaking, and the higher your team score, the stronger the game is going to be matching you. Now, this setup that I currently have on is my two best drivers, and I have on my strongest parts. Now, when you have on your two best drivers and your strongest parts, just like this setup right here, as you can see, our team score is 1342. We're going to be conceived to be at our max level, so we're going to be matching against rivals that are probably at a higher team score than us, because the game is going to be matching us to the max potential that our team score has. All right, now this is not necessarily the best setup to use in game. I know a lot of players will tell you go for your max team score setups. Yeah, you want to go for your max team score setup, but you don't really want to use your max team score setup, because what your max team score setup is going to do is attract strong players, all right, and stronger accounts that are basically just going to overpower you. All right, so now based off of a lot of testing, I can fairly say this setup that I'll be sharing you is the optimal setup. And if for some of you who do not know, but before we jump into the optimal setup, some of you have been asking on the channel, how do you select your best drivers and how do you find your best setup? So I'm going to be explaining that first. All right, so let's say, for example, I have on Oscar Piastri and I am also using Alexander Albon Rare. All right, so let's say these are my drivers, and I've just unlocked another driver who's higher level, like Nico Hulkenberg here. Now, when you tap on Hulkenberg, it's going to show you an overview of your current stats compared to the drivers that you have selected. So as you can see here, Albon and Piastri is currently stronger than Nico Hulkenberg. So Nico Hulkenberg right here wouldn't be stronger or a better pick than our current drivers. So we move up. We've unlocked Lance Stroll. Now we see Lance Stroll has +2 overtake, minus defense, qualifying, and race start there. So he's not going to be better than or Piastri. So we continue moving up. We have Max Verstappen. Now we're seeing some pluses. Now, how you select your best drivers is by looking at the amount of pluses and compare it to the amount of minuses. All right, so we see -20 here for Piastri, and we don't see +20 or over +20. So we're seeing +15. All right, so right away you'd know that Piastri would be the better driver to use in that scenario. Let's keep going up and see Kevin Magnussen. Still, Piastri is still stronger, and we've reached up to Sergio Perez. Now we see the pluses are adding up, and as you can see, Perez right now is way stronger than or Piastri because he has more pluses for only a -2 race start. All right. So Perez would be the better driver there. So that is basically how you want to pick your better driver going forward to find the strongest drivers you have in the game. So let's say we have on or Alonso, and we've just unlocked Leclerc, and we bought the unlock offer in the shop, and we got him up to level 4. All right, so now as you can see here, we have -16, all right, plus 16. All right, so it's +16 -16. Now in this scenario, where both drivers are equal in the same amount, plus 16 minus 16. You want to look out for what is known as the qualifying stats. All right, because the driver with the highest qualifying stats is going to be outperforming the driver with the lowest qualifying stats. So in this scenario, Leclerc will have a higher qualifying stat than Alonso, meaning Alonso will always qualify behind Leclerc. So you want to be selecting Leclerc as your driver there. All right. So in that scenario, that's how you're going to be selecting your driver. All right. Now, as for the parts, it's basically the same. You want to look for the parts with the most pluses. So, for instance, we had the Avalanche on here. When we tap on the rover, you're going to see plus 5 power unit, plus 5 reliability. But when it comes to setup, it calculates a little bit different. Now, the main attributes in your setup to influence your qualifying and your car's performance is going to be speed, cornering, and reliability. Power unit does not affect your performance of your car. All right, so every time you're making a setup, you always want to do not count power unit. All right, so just forget about that plus 5 from power unit. So right now, the Rover is giving us a plus 10 minus 2, so overall a plus 8. So the Rover will be stronger than the Avalanche in that scenario. All right. All right, so that's basically, with that information in hand, now you will know how to set up your car. Now, what we have found that a car with a high amount of cornering has been more successful than a car with a high amount of speed. All right. Now, reliability only affects your servicing time, and it's calculated in there as qualifying score. All right. So overall, you want to focus mainly on corners. All right. Now, when I say focus on corners, you don't want to be giving up too much speed and reliability for just a little bit of corners. So right now, this would be my optimal setup right here, 1342. All right, but I'm going to be switching down for some cornering to bring up my cornering a little bit more and take away a little bit of that speed. So we have the Rover, which is currently our best engine. We have the Horizon, which is currently our best suspension to have. All right, so we're going to be, the only part we can change right now is going to be the verdict for the Vector here. Now, the Vector is giving us plus 10 cornering, but it's going to be taking away minus 14, which is the speed and the reliability. You don't really care about the power unit. So it's minus 14 for plus 10. All right. Now, that is going to be minus 4 or minus 4 for an extra 10 cornering, which is a good compromise. So I would throw in the Vector there, and as you can see, that brought down my team score. Now, that little change in your team score is going to give you better matches than what you would get with the verdict. Now we're going to be going out and testing that. We're just going to be jumping into some race. I don't want to make this video too long, so we're just going to be jumping into some races, and we're going to see the kind of matches we're going to get with our maxed out power level that we see 1342. We're going to see the kind of races we're going to get with our maxed out power level and the kind of races we're going to get with a non-max power level. All right, so I want to drop down into a series where I'm not going to lose too much coins. So we're just going to jump into series 1. We only want to see the kind of matches we're going to get, and we're going to see the team score that we're going to get. All right, that's all we want to see, what team score, and then we'll just close. All right, so we got 1288 for the max team score match. 1288. Okay, so we can just forfeit this race and start another match with the lower team score, and we'll see what kind of match we get with that. All right, so 1288. All right, so we have forfeit that race, and now we're going to be finding our optimal setup, which we're going to change the verdict, and we're going to go for the higher corner setup. And you can see that brings our corner up now to 126, and it brings down our team score. All right, so we're going to be jumping now and see what kind of matches we're going to get down in the same series 1. We're going to see we got 1288 from the first match. We want to see what kind of match we're going to get, what kind of team score. Is it going to be higher or lower than 1288? I'll bet it's going to be lower. Let's see. See? 1259. All right. So it's lowered. So if you want to get optimal matches, to get better matches, it's best to optimize your setup to corners, speed, and reliability instead of going for the maximum team score that you could get. Go through your setup and look where you can optimize and gain a little more cornering while sacrificing a little speed or a little reliability for that little extra cornering. And that should do a great job for you in terms of giving you better matches, and you're going to be getting better races out of that setup. All right. So this is why you don't see me complaining about matchmaking. You will get every now and then you will still get that awkward one or two overpowered match. There's nothing you could do to get away from that, but you won't be getting it all the time. All right. So that's it. All right. So go try these tips out and let me know how it works for you guys in your game. And yeah, that's basically going to be it for this one. Remember to support a content creator by going into settings, community, support a creator, and type in Gaming with King to support this channel. Really appreciate you guys for all your support. And that's basically going to be it for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Go check out some of our other videos over here or our playlists over here. Shout out Christopher Graves, Alfredo Jr., Stelios, and Touch My Dilly.
And they say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to